Yeah, just a couple things. First of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, again. Obviously, Chubb will be the starter, so excited for him to put 2 games in a row back to back. Excited for our team. On a separate note, I just want to, it's an honor for us to play in the Heroes game, and Josh Hicks, who selflessly saved a life. I think it's a great thing that he'll be honored, and we hope to honor him with the way that we play. So with that, I'll see what questions you guys have.
Ty Robinson kind of announced his plans. How big was that for you guys to hear, and maybe what's kind of the outlook for him going forward and kind of where he needs to take that next step?
Yeah, I came in. Obviously we played late, got back late Saturday night. He was in the office first thing, and just wanted to let Terrence and I know that he wanted to come back. And he would get drafted this year. He's got a draftable grade. Every team's been in to see him. I've talked to him about going to the NFL and making some money, but I think he recognizes the growth he's made this year and recognizes the opportunity for him to continue to grow under Terrence and play another year. I think he's having a good experience. So he's one of my favorite guys just as a person. I'm just so happy he's coming back. I think he's going to be dominant for us. I think he's played at a really high level, not always in ways that you can see, but when you look at the tape. And I think anytime a guy comes in and says who can get drafted, says he wants to come back, it's he's not putting himself in the portal and seeing who the highest taker is. He wants to come back and play here, and I think it's really, really. I kind of said on the press conference on Monday, I think if you did an autopsy of the program, you'd see really healthy things. I didn't want to speak for him, but I knew that was happening. So I think that just speaks to kind of what's happening.
I think pretty much the entire defensive line is probably going to come back. How comforting is that to know that you have that return?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I'm always one of those guys. I get into I come to a job. I kind of examine things for a year and just try to figure out how to. And obviously, the league is really changing next year, so we'll have to see what next year's Big Ten looks like. But the game's won, up front with the big guys in this league, and to have those guys come back next year is great. I think our offensive and defensive line play has really improved throughout the course of the year, and now you have those guys going into the offseason and coming back. I think we have really good, talented young players too. So I just think the leadership that Ty brings is awesome. Bear will be a senior, so I think we have a really good, solid foundation with those groups.
Coach Bryce Benard talked yesterday as well. He was somebody who in the offseason you were super high on, called him an NFL player. You have so much games to look at. What have you seen from him?
I think he's really, really. I mean, he's playing his best football late in the year. I think the commitment those Bryce has made in the weight room with Corey and with Kristen. I think the way that we practice has really helped him, and the season's been kind of a it's been a journey. It's been an up and down journey, right? The guys have ridden the highs and lows, and I think Bryce is someone who's playing his best football. So, I know I think he mentioned you guys. He has decisions left to make, and so I always leave those up to those guys. But I've really, really enjoyed my time with him, and if he comes back, I'll certainly enjoy another year with him.
Why is Iowa still able to have really good return units in an area where it's kind of hard to return punts because the punters have gotten so much better, but Iowa still manages to do it? How do they do that?
It's just a program-wide commitment. It's like if you watch them play, they get the ball, they get a couple first downs. If they go down and score, great. If not, they punt the ball down inside your 10. They play great defense. They suffocate you. So their returns, the punt returns are not all equal. Punt returns, when they're punting from inside their own 20, give you a chance at great returns. You don't have to worry about the fake. You can double people. You can have a guy drop back. You can, and they come after you. They're trying to block it. So their punt team is so challenging. It's a bunch of different looks and shifts. So it's really impressive when you watch the way that they play. It's just in totality. But obviously, Cooper, I'm so sorry he's hurt, but he's an amazing returner. But every single guy on that team knows how important the punt return unit is. So you look at a lot of our punt returns, they've been, backed up within our own 10, 15, 20. And you want to field those balls and not let the ball run down to the 3. And we've worked at that throughout the course of the year. As we grow, the key is to make them punt from there, 15 and 20, where you don't have to worry about them faking. You can be more return-oriented. You can go after the blocks. I think we have a dynamic young returner in Ethan. I think he's really going to grow. But we're just trying to build to that. But I think that's really what it is. It's just the way that they tilt the field early in games, and then you just end up playing the whole game on their side of the field, on your own side of the field, and then when you make a mistake, they then capitalize on it. So it's worked for them for however many years, 20-some years. So it's a proven formula, and it's one that we have to have the answer for this week.
What did you see in this week of practice from your quarterbacks to know that you were going to go with Chubb on?
Yeah, I think coming out of the last game, Heinrich's not healthy. He's an emergency guy. I thought Chubb played really well on Saturday. I thought he practiced really well this week. So there's really not much of a debate in our minds. I just felt like it'd be better to say it just in case there is any doubt. People are wondering, but I think since Chubb was went in the last drive of the Cardinals game, excuse me, Maryland game. When I think of Tolly, I always think of Kyler Murray. So that's true. I think he's such a great player, but I think since he went in the last drive of that game and drove us 90-some yards, he's just done nothing but play good football, and so I think he gives us the best chance tomorrow, Friday. Yeah, you can tell him short week.
You got much sleep lately?
Nah, for a short week.
If you guys get dinged up in that game against Wisconsin, do you have updates on guys like Nick Henrich and Anthony Grant?
Yeah, I should have said this on my Nick retore his ACL in overtime. So I think obviously Nick won't play. So that I think he has some decisions to make, but he'll walk on Friday. That's why I said on Monday, these guys have given us everything. Nick's one of those guys. He's given us everything, and so Nick obviously that was brutal. Who else did you ask about? Anthony's he practiced today. He kind of a game time decision. If he just a low ankle sprain, but obviously at that position you want to feel good. So I think he'll play. Just what his volume will be will remain to be seen.
You talked, I think it was before the Northwestern game, about blocking out outside noise going into the second half. Did you feel any need to reiterate that this week after a 3-game losing streak going into this last game?
I talk about it all the time. It's just part of football nowadays, right? It's just part of sports nowadays, right? It's great. It's why that's why the stadium's full. There's a lot of commentary, a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you can only control what you can control, and so. Just like when we were on a 3-game win streak, I didn't consider us on a 3-game win streak. We were trying to go 1-0 that week. We we're on a 3-game losing streak. To me, it's all about us versus Iowa. And the things they do well, the things that we do well, the things that we have to take advantage of, the things that they're going to try to take advantage of. And that's all it's about to me. But I'm just trying to constantly reiterate that to the players. And that is the only benefit of a season like this in year one of an up. You win 2, you lose 2. You win 2, you lose 1, you win 3, you lose 3, right? You have these ebbs and flows and turns, and when you come out of it, it all comes down to, one game never carried over into another. One game we blocked the extra point, ran it back blocked the field goal, ran it back for a touchdown, and won the game, and one game we didn't make that play. So just teaching the guys that football is football. So we're going to go out and play and have fun.
Anything else?
Is the emotion of senior day a positive or a negative? Or
it's a great question. I've seen it be negative at times early in games. Sometimes the team can come out and be so emotional that there's a little erratic. I think for us, you take the fact that it's Iowa, and obviously that's a game that means a lot to both sides. You take the fact that it's senior day. You take the fact that bowl eligibility for us is on the line. Take the fact that they're a ranked team and they're playing in the Big Ten championship game, and deservedly so, next week. I think there's so many things there. I know a lot of these guys we haven't won a senior day since I think 2018, and so that means something. So I think the emotion will be positive. I think it's been good all week. As I said after the game, the last week I think our guys were just kind of crushed, and I think a little bit of that carried over early into this week. Not at all in terms of not being prepared to play, but guys, I had guys in my office kind of like, if I only would have done this, we could have won the game. If I only would have done that, and as I said, that's true for all of us, right? So I think that the emotion will be good for us because we really respect these. I think it's up to I think there's 26, 27, maybe 28 guys, between the non-scholarship and scholarship players. So there'll be a good group out there, and I think everyone's anxious to honor them. All right, thanks.